Hey everybody, welcome back to my garden. So today is May 3rd and I'm going to start doing my backyard garden tours. This is where I once a month am touring my entire yard, mainly just so I can see the progress of my own garden and document everything that's been growing well and not well and what I should do next year differently. So I'm going to start in my vegetable garden area, and then I'll do my backyard and then my front yard. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what's changed. So not much is different in the very front. Don't mind those pots. I don't know where they came from. In the front is where I have started doing my family's birth flower garden plants. So I had daffodils growing. The foliage is still up, but it's dying back, so I'm going to leave that. Maybe they'll come back next year. Not promising, but all of this strappy texture is all gladiolus. I should come out here and stake it somehow before the bloom stalks start in the summer, just so I know everything's not going to flop over. But those look good. Over here, the same thing, gladiolus. All of the sweet peas have fizzled away. None of them bloomed. It was way too late in the year. Actually, there might be one over there, but it's not going to bloom. Almost certain it's not going to. So we will try for sweet peas in the fall. Here I have my pigeon pea. I actually just harvested a big bowl of the peas, so I will be cooking those in a curry probably tomorrow or the next day. Let's see. This is my makeshift little walkway. I know it's awful. It's not going to stay that way, but I had these bricks piled up that I was thinking about something I wanted to do, and that's just what it looks like right now, so don't judge me. My key lime's doing great. They're all putting on new growth and starting to bloom. So as soon as we start getting a lot more rain, these things are going to really kick off. We've been pretty dry. Let's see. I have my rosemary, still doing great. That thing, if I try to transplant that, it will be done for. So I'm going to leave it there as long as it wants. It's about 3 years old now. Let's see. Along these borders, I do have some bachelor buttons blooming. They are not as dense as I wanted, but that's okay. I am going to let them drop their seeds and then hope that this spreads out next year. I really do like them, so I'm going to spread more seeds next year more densely. I just don't think it was enough, and I did it kind of late in the season. I have my peas growing up these trellises. So this Kentucky pole bean started off strong. I have it on all four sides. You'll notice over there it's growing. On this side it's small. We haven't been getting a lot of water. I've been watering it, but I just don't think it's been able to keep up with our weather, because that trellis gets a lot of sun. Like, when I mean a lot of sun, I mean stuff on this side of my house will melt because of my neighbor's window, which we've kind of found a resolution to that, but those plants are suffering from the heat a little bit. I have had some productive vines. I've eaten off of them. The bunny gets a lot of green beans off of it, but they're just not like the most productive thing. So I am trying a pole bean. It's an Asian variety, and a yard long bean. So I'm hoping those produce better. But I do have a few in here. The calendula is basically gone. It's self-seeded. My lavender's still alive. These are all Dara. Those should produce flowers still. My blackberry plants are doing really well. This one actually has some berries on it. This is a first-year plant. Ow! Ooh, got myself. So I will be excited to eat those 4 berries. See over here, this is my flat of, sorry, the sun is crazy, my flat of okra. So all of this will be going in 1 or 2 beds over there. I might just do an entire 2 beds of okra, because tomatoes I'm not doing in the summer. Well, peppers, I'm gonna put peppers in a bed, but we'll figure it out. Last year bunnies ate all of the tops off my okra seedlings, so I had like 2 okra plants. These were the seeds saved from 1 or 2 okra, and so we're starting over without having to buy more seed. Just have a few sunflower seedlings, some pepper seedlings. These are Purple Beauty bell peppers. These are banana peppers. These are more Purple Beauty. Oh, I need to water these. This plant's still doing great and pretty. Sage is looking good. Let's see. Over here I have, I have more peas. So these are some of the yard-long beans, not peas. I need to water. Oh my god, it's so dry. It just needs to rain. More of the bachelor buttons. They went to seed, thankfully. I'm going to let the seeds drop in place, self-seed, and they'll be ready for next year. I'll just water when I'm done here. Like I said, the beans on this side, they're doing okay. They're not great. I probably won't grow the Kentucky pole bean next year. I'm gonna stick to really heat tolerant varieties. Artichokes are doing good. Yarrow, the rosemary is getting bigger. This spot gets super hot, so this alyssum is fizzling out, but that's fine. It's self-seeded. It will come back. Oh, it looks like my bunny has eaten this rosemary plant. This one is doing good. Artichoke doing good. So this is actually, like I said, because it gets so hot, my water softener system melts because of the neighbor's window. So that's why that's on there. I'm gonna see if it helps this year. I've been harvesting onions. They are small, but they're still edible, and we've been enjoying them in meals. The lettuce is still going. It's starting to bolt some of it, but the bunny does not care. So she's getting the lettuce. Once all the lettuce is gone, I will end up putting, the lettuce will be gone before the status and the bok choy and the tatsoi in this bed. So I'm going to start this bed as okra. The peppers will go into this bed, followed by tomatoes in the fall in that bed. So we'll do like a rotation there. So there's a couple peppers in here, a sunflower, the onions, the sunflowers. I don't remember what varieties. I had a few different. And then there's zinnias. And then this is a holy basil. So this is about to bloom. The holy basils I'm letting bloom because they are such good pollinator plants. And the zinnias, I picked this, if you see, what am I trying to say? I pinched the tops off, and then they spread out like this. So there will be zinnias blooming by next month, for sure. So everything is kind of in the transition period of spring or winter stuff and then spring stuff. I have learned that I get really overwhelmed this time of year if I try to do too much, and I'm a busy mom and wife and everything, so I really need to just limit myself and make sure I don't plant things that are going to stress me out, like tomatoes. And tomatoes get a lot of diseases start the summer, so I don't even bother with that. So that's something that is off my plate and I don't have to worry about. So when I have empty spaces, I know that okra is going in there. Okra is really heat tolerant and humidity tolerant, and it's going to be fine. So here we go. More zinnias. This is, let's see, I think this is a pineapple basil. This self-seeds everywhere, so I leave it. These two little cabbages I've been feeding to the bunny, the outer leaves. The red tatsoi is looking really good. I'm excited to start eating this. See, look, sweet potatoes. I'm gonna pick this for the bunny. Weeds. But yeah, the red tatsoi, I'm really liking that. So we enjoyed tatsoi a lot. Oh, I forgot, I put squash plants in here. My squash, everything on that bed over there is not going to perform as well as it would in the next couple years, because that is a brand new planting bed and I built the soil on top of the existing mulch. So I did a layer of shredded leaves from my neighbors and my lawn, and then I did a layer of compost. I did some worm castings and all that, but that stuff still needs to break down, so the nitrogen levels in that bed are lower than they should be. I have been adding fish fertilizer and whatnot, so the plants are looking relatively healthy, but I do know everything in that bed is going to be smaller this year, but I'm okay with that. So things like the yarrow, the zinnias, the sunflowers, those don't need that much, like, what am I trying to say, soil fertility to grow well, so those are going to do well this year. The same with the beans. So that is going to be an ever-changing bed, and that is what it is when you make a new planting space. So I have some green zucchini, some yellow squash. One of them might be butternut, I don't remember. Ow. In here I still have my fennel, another squash, this crazy oregano. Looks good. This thing looks like it's gonna fall over. Some zinnias back there, sunflower. So over here I have something I'm really excited about, is my tromboncino squash plant. So I have 3 plants. Actually, I might have 4. I planted a 4th one over there, but the only one that's producing right now is this tall one here, and it is super healthy right now despite all of our rain we are not getting. I've been keeping it well watered, and I think that's why there's not as much disease out here yet. We're not as humid as normal. But let me show you. This is my monster of a kale plant, which I think is covered in aphids, but I mean, I am about to collect all the seeds, so it doesn't matter. But anyways, so here are the 2 fruits growing on it right now. They are about 18 inches, almost 2 foot long. This one is. I'm actually about to harvest this one for dinner. So I'm pre-recording this portion of the garden tour because I'm about to pick it, and I wanted to show you what it looks like on the vine. So these squash, they get this long, and you can eat them just like a zucchini, or you can leave them on the vine and they will turn into what they say is similar to a butternut squash. Whether mine make it that long, I don't know. I might want to leave one, but given our pests and disease pressure in Florida, I don't know if it's smart to let one go that long and then maybe waste an entire fruit. So we will see, but the plant itself is really healthy, and it's blooming all the time. There's another one over here. This one had a little, oh yeah, see, there's a little one there. And what you have to make sure of is budworms or not budworms, but this might have one in it. Hold on. Yep, just as I suspected, they are pickle worms. They go inside the blossoms they completely eat the inside, so then it's not viable. And then I'm just going to squish that because I'm not growing these for all of the worms to eat. So when I first came out here a few weeks ago, this thing, these 3 plants and the other squash plants I have too, were covered in worms. So I had to really get on top of it. Actually, they ate every single bloom off of these. Oops, I just dropped my pruners. So I lost all the potential fruit, but it grew back super fast, and so I'm getting fruit now and blooms again. But yeah, for like a week, all the blossoms that I had all went to the dang worm. So that's something to be careful with. All your squash family, even not if they're not under the leaves, a lot of times the cucumber or the what am I trying to say? The pickle worms will be inside the blooms. Sometimes there'll be a completely closed up bloom still, and you'll see a tiny hole. So if you see that, I check them almost every day. Definitely look for that and get them off your plants right away. If I don't see any open fruit that can be pollinated, I go ahead and take these off of my plant because like I don't see any small fruit that is going to be needing a male flower in the next couple days, and I don't want the pickle worms taking over, so I just get rid of them. And you can eat these too, so I mean, don't feel like you have to waste them. They're actually really delicious if you stuff them with cheese and fry them. Oh, delicious. But yeah, that is the tromboncino squash. Over here I have, oh look, a bloom. I wasn't sure what this was, so I'm going to take a picture of it. It's a wildflower. I think it's a wild hyssop. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to look it up now that it's bloomed. A sunflower. I have an Everglades tomato, the last of some onions, and then a few carrots dappled in here. This yarrow is still going strong. You see there has been things eating the seed heads. Some of them just fall to the ground, and that's fine. Over here I have some yellow squash growing. This area is a little more shady, so I don't imagine those are going to get too big. I have noticed something. The squashes, this one, and this one, have more yellow or silvery leaves because of being in the shade area somehow. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that, but something I've noticed. Sunflowers, lots of zinnias back there. The status is starting to open. All this basil, cabbage, status, yarrow. Everything is doing what I planned. This is another yellow squash. I'm gonna pick off the old blooms as I see them. Like I mentioned before, I don't want to get any pickle worms in them. Ooh, that hurts. There might be a pickle worm in there. I don't know. We'll see. I just hurt myself. It's fine. Oh, this is getting eaten by aphids.
Aphids?
Yeah, aphids. Oh, there's my daughter. Or aphids or whiteflies. I'm not going to bother. It doesn't matter. So if aphids or not whiteflies, I think they're aphids, want to eat something that's gone to seed, I would rather them attack this or attack that mustard green over there and then stay away from my other things because, I mean...
Mom, ladybugs eat aphids.
They do. Good job. Because if I leave them, that's just longer that beneficial insects are going to find them, and this is a good host plant for those to stay on, that it's not ruining something I'm actively trying to harvest right now. So in hindsight, having aphids on something that has gone to seed is not a bad thing. Oh no, don't put lemon on them. Here, can you give that to Piper? So my phone is actually going to die. So I'm going to go charge it and then I will be back when it's charged. Okay, so picking up where we left off, I wanted to show you real quick. This is half of one coral honeysuckle plant. So this plant is actually planted in the front yard. It's climbed over the fence and then just filled out this corner. So I get to see this from inside when I'm in the living room. And I love watching the hummingbirds. They love this plant. There was actually just 2 of them on it right before I came back out here. But it's just so pretty. It's so reliable. Blooms constantly during this time of the year. Actually, there's some blooms on it at all times of the year, even through the winter. But just look at it. Oh, it's so pretty. It's one of my favorites. So anyways, coming back to here, I have, this is like a dwarf sunflower. I don't remember which one exactly, but I will see when it blooms. But it's good for pot, so that's why I planted it there. I have more zinnias around the front. This sunflower is a volunteer. I want to say this is probably going to be Sunfill Purple, which is a pollenless purple sunflower. It's really cool looking. They kind of self-seeded last year thanks to the birds and squirrels, so I did plant more of them as well. Actually, I think, no, this isn't one. I planted some somewhere else in these beds, so let's see. Here is more of the same squash. I had pickle worms or squash bug, whatever. I think it was a pickle worm inside that acorn squash plant. Actually, half the vine was just dead one day. And so I knew instantly, because I've seen this before, that there had been a worm that digs into the vine and basically cuts off this nutrient supply to the rest of it. So I actually cut it off at that place, and there might be another one, to be honest. I don't know, because this looks dead. Who knows? This plant I don't expect much out of because, yep, there probably was one in here. Do you see that? 100% there was a squash vine. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull this plant. I hate to do this. Oh, good. But it's already getting mildew. I doubt it's going to produce. It's already, like, look, there's probably vine borers in that stem there. I've already cut off half of it. It's just not worth saving and using up the nutrients when I have, I'm just going to throw it over there for right now, plenty of other things in this area that can utilize the nutrients. I actually planted more beans along here. These are, I think, the purple. See, look, this one's all weird shaped because it wasn't getting any sun. These are the purple yard-long beans. These are the purple pole beans, and these are the yard-long beans. I have another squash plant. There's zinnias, purple pole beans. These 2 trellises, cattle panels there and there, I just lashed to the fence, and the rest of those beans will grow up, then hopefully covering them throughout the rest of the season. I do have some more squash coming. Like I said, I don't expect these plants over here to be very big this year because of, the nutrient thing. But I have a bunch of status still coming. Zinnias, yarrow, basil. The great thing about basil is all of it will flower. I can harvest it. The pollinators will like it, and then it will self-seed for next year. I did replant some more squash in case the ones that I planted early on didn't produce, which I'm glad I did because some of them are pretty small. So this one, I think they might be butternut and yellow squash. I'm going to take this guy out too. Because look, that's not going to do anything. It's literally wasting space. Let's see, sunflowers back there. Oh look, this guy. I put this here so it will travel up this pole and eventually attach itself to that window. Those are the purple pole beans, not yard-long beans. The purplish color is the pole. The green is the yard-long. Yeah, there's sunflowers, zinnias, basil, more daikon radish, alyssum. This, I'm not real sure. This is some type of senna, I think. I don't think that this is partridge pea, although I might be wrong. I have to go look at it. I have partridge pea growing in the backyard, and if it is, I'll leave it. If not, these will get like 6 foot tall, and I don't need them right here that tall, but I'll see. I kind of get them mixed up in this young stage. More yarrow. Look. Oh, look. This looks like it might be a different color, the status. I love the status. These plants here, they did really well and they're doing really well still. I just think I need a different color. The peachy color blends in way too much, and there's so many cool colors of status. Next year I'm definitely gonna get some more vibrant colors. I wanted to show you this daikon radish. Look at this, it's huge. I think I'm gonna let this one go to seed. But it's just massive, so I thought that was cool. This dill is about to flower, and then I have the pole beans, or yard-long beans, all along the back of this. This is a zinnia. I'm gonna go ahead and pinch this guy. If you pinch your zinnias when they have a few sets of true leaves, they will bush out and you will get more blooms. Those are a couple potato plants that are their last leg. This half of the trellis, there was a big ant pile there, so those beans did not come up well. There was one that did. The ants like ate the inside of it out, and then one there, but that's gonna die. And then, oh no, I just stepped on a sunflower. And then this is the rest of my onions. I'll be pulling those out pretty soon. They're super tiny. Oh, actually, look at this. Here's one. My husband said they look like shallots. I told him to be quiet because they're not. But it's fine. You live and you learn. I'm gonna do something more differently with the nutrients next year. Something I learned. So we'll try again. Coming over here, I have a zinnia in the middle. Couple little sunflowers along the edges, and then this is my watermelon. These look really yellow. I think this pot is in need of a refresh, so it is what it is. Oh look, this bean is super long and ready to be picked. But see, this is kind of what I'm getting. Even with like 40 plants, only about half are producing. And even of those, some of them have already died off because of the sun. And then, so I'm only getting like a few beans now a day, and they're not worth, you know, eating. I either eat them raw or give them to the bunny. So it is what it is. And then more carrots, dill there, and then I did self-seed some more daikon, or I did sow some more daikon radish. So I'm hoping that comes up. And then I'll have another harvest of that. I did want to show, this is cucamelon. There's a few baby, that's a weed, cucamelon seedlings. I had a cucamelon in this pot last year, and now it's dill going to flower, but a self-seeded on the ground, so I'll have some cucamelons probably. But anyways, let me pick this carrot that's sticking half out of the ground. So anyways, that concludes the May tour of my vegetable garden. I'm gonna take these little veggies into the bunny, and then tomorrow I will come around and I will tour the backyard. So thanks for watching. See you.